Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Worry Wednesdays. We got some pretty good questions lined up for this episode. So, my name's Derek the Beta Cat, and I'm here with Ryan Static P.
Yo, guys.
And we're just gonna kick this right off. So, Ryan, what's your question?
All right, this was a private message to me. They didn't say whether I could release their name or not, so I don't want to do that. Question is this. It comes with a nice sized paragraph before it to kind of give us an introduction to what's going on. So, a little over half a year ago, I met an incredibly nice girl and I fell in love with her. When I told her, she also said she started to like me and we started a relationship, which was my first, I should add. Together with some other factors during that time, I was the happiest I had ever been. She was a very special person, unlike I've ever met before. The relationship only lasted about a month, and after a long period of trying to avoid me, she decided to break up with me. She didn't really give me a good reason other than some vague, "I'm not sure, it doesn't feel right." This was over 4 months ago, and things are still rough. I guess you could say I'm depressed. The period of my intense happiness has long ended, and I'm very afraid it'll never return. Sometimes I feel like I might have had the best part of my life already. I see no way that happiness could return. After these 4 months, I'm still really sad about what happened, and I really miss her. Lately, I've been remembering things I thought I'd forgotten, and it still hurts a lot. So I have 2 questions. 1, what is your experience in getting over breakups? How long did it take? How far are you over it? What did it take to move on? And 2, I guess that was a lot of questions in one, but that's fine. About having lost my happiness, do you have any faith it'll return? It was unlike anything I'd ever had before, and I just think that without her, I'll never be able to feel that again. Thank you a lot. I'm a big fan of the show, and it's amazing that you do this for people. There are a lot of people out there in need of advice, so I really respect the effort you put into helping people. Thanks a lot, and I hope you can give me some advice. So there you go. Would you like to talk about that, Derek?
So, I'm gonna be pretty blunt, and I hope you can respect and take this with however much grain of salt that you feel comfortable with. First off, I don't know how old you are, but I'm gonna talk to you man to man, and I know some people don't like that very much, but this is an advice show, and I want to give you honest, truthful answers. So the big part here is that it's your first relationship, which cool beans, you experienced love and you lost it, unfortunately. And what you're experiencing is that first love puppy feeling, and that's common within a lot of people. I've gone through it. I'm sure Ryan has gone through it, but it hurts. The first one definitely hurts, but having faith that it'll return your happiness, of course, man. Of course it's going to return. And I don't want to say that this is the most happiest moment of your life forever. It's probably the most happiest moment of your life thus far. But dude, you got a whole life to live, so many things to experience that may not be with her no longer, but that's okay. You have so many possibilities in the future that can be hundreds of times more enjoyable. Now, like I said, this is blunt and you probably don't want to hear it too much, but what's my experience breaking up? Well, same thing. Fell in love with a girl. Broke up with me, mainly because I found out she was cheating on me. so it hurt a little bit more, I would say. Yeah. But the thing is, it's your first love. And this was in high school, mind you. So, I'm young. I'm just like a little kid that doesn't know any better, that follows fantasies and whatever, which is fine. Everyone does. But I think I got over it probably within a month and a half. Mainly because my mind is not I don't try to follow that fantasy that kind of exists. And by kind of exists, I mean the fantasies that are portrayed through us from media, romantical movies, animes, your generic RPGs. Those all exist, and that's fine. But in reality, sometimes they work. They absolutely do exist. I'm not trying to discourage you saying, oh, you're never gonna find that one true love and you can't wish upon a star and travel in space on your magical soda can or something.
Some of that, maybe not, but yes, all of that can happen.
And yeah, man, like, how far are you over it? I'm actually very over it because it teaches you a lot of things, dude. It teaches you the girl that you like the qualities and characteristics and personalities that you want in your future potential spouse or your significant other or future wife, whatever it may be. And what did it take to move on? All it took for me to move on was just to not think about her. Because the main thing here is that once you break up with this person, you're really, really stuck on the idea of love with this person. But are you stuck on the idea that you really, really love this individual? Or are you just in love with the idea of love, thinking that you are never going to get anything like that ever again? And so in return, you're just like doubting yourself, telling yourself, I'm never going to have anything as great as that. And I want to say you're wrong, because there is so much potential of things to be even greater than what you've already had. Not saying that people who are already in relationships, I'm not telling you like, oh, just break up with them because you'll find something better. No. Your first love, first relationship, it's gonna hurt because it's the first time experience something new. First time experience something magical. First time experience just true, innocent love. And once it's gone, your first instinct is you want that back. You're gonna think about it. You're gonna make fantasies up in your head. You're just gonna do all these things that, hurt you emotionally and mentally. So, my advice to you, name I do not know, private messenger on Twitter through Static P. Yeah, dude, I have total faith you're gonna have happiness back. And you're gonna look at this like a few years from now, or maybe like a week from now. You're gonna look back and be like, hey, you know what? That was a learning experience. I'm glad I went through it. You probably won't say I'm glad I went through it. That's not gonna be for like another few years or something. But you're gonna look back at it, yeah, and say, you know what? What was I worried about? There's nothing to worry about because life is beautiful that way. There's so many things out there that we have yet to experience. Just because we want them here right now doesn't mean we have to just give up on possibilities that pass us by. While you're busy here, sulking and just wishing she was back in your life, there'd probably be like 5 girls who just walk past you, like who can offer you so much or just the same thing. That's something to keep in mind. While you're busy mourning over an experience that it's already a past, you're missing out on a bunch of possibilities just walking past you that you're paying no mind to at all. But that's all I really got.
Thanks, Derek. That was, I agree with all of that, and it's like, wow, he took a lot of the words I wanted to say right out of my mouth, so that's great.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It's great. I've had a similar experience, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience because I want to show you that everything's going to be awesome. Okay? Because I also had, I had a girl that I liked, and I had dated her for 4.5 years. And I turned 18, and I drove to Canada, and I met her, and then I came home. I met her whole family. Everybody loved me. I stayed there for like a week and I don't remember, like basically a week. And then I came home, and then like 2 weeks later, she dumped me. And at first, like I said this last time, at first I just laughed. I thought it was funny, but then it really hurt me hard later, right? And I really wanted her back, and that experience, it was valuable, but I just really wanted to have her back, and I felt that feeling that you're feeling right now. And what I did, because I wanted her back so badly, I started picking up some books, and I started reading. Some books that I felt like I could trust, not like romance novels. We're talking about a book called The 5 Love Languages. Because when she dumped me, she said almost something exactly what your girlfriend said. Your girlfriend said, I'm not sure, it doesn't feel right. Mine said, I just don't know if I love you anymore. Or it just doesn't feel the way it used to feel when we first started dating. And I was like, what does she mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I picked up a book called The 5 Love Languages that had been recommended to me a couple times. So finally made the effort to read it. And that book set me straight. I loved it. I read like as much as I'd ever read in my life within a 24-hour period. And basically, it went into some of the science of what you're experiencing and what she was experiencing. So there's something called in love, and then there's something called true love. And in love is an emotional high. What you're feeling is what you felt for her, what you're feeling right now, this reason that you want her back so badly, is this emotional state of mind. You can call it happiness, though it's more of it is a happiness, but it's not the same as a peaceful happiness. Being able to be happy regardless of the situation, it's a happiness that's very dependent upon the emotion itself. So it's an emotional high, right? And we often get this for the ones we love, that we want to date or whatever. And I can guarantee you, someday in the future, you're going to get this emotional high for another young lady. Well, I can't guarantee. I guess I don't know how your life's going to plan out, but it's quite likely. And you're going to fall in love with her. Now, see, when you fall in love with somebody, that emotional high comes, but it only lasts for so long, unfortunately. Sometimes it lasts a couple of weeks, maybe sometimes only even days, sometimes 3 years. It really just varies from person to person and situation to situation. But it does, and it's healthy that it leaves, because we're not meant to be in that emotional state our entire lives. Because it honestly starts to prevent us from doing some of the things that we're supposed to do with our life. Like, we become so emotionally obsessed and attached with a specific individual. It's making us super happy and enjoying things. But at the same time, we start to do less in other areas of our life that we're supposed to keep focus on. Spending all our time with one thing rather than doing some other things that might be important. And so it's good that this emotion fades with time. But also it's good because it allows room for something called true love. And true love is the situation where it's no longer an emotion and it's a choice. See, a lot of times we have marriages these days. People get married and then they'll get divorced, not even a year later, or maybe 2 or 3 years later. But the usual problem is because they fall in love, they have this emotional high, they think that's what love is, and then once that disappears, they start nagging at each other, hating each other, ripping each other apart, and eventually get a divorce. Because there's no longer that emotion guiding them. There's no longer that emotion that decides what they want to, what they feel like doing for that person that day. Love is where you're willing to suffer for somebody. So in a situation where it's like, I have no emotional desire to cook her breakfast, but I know she's going to love it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to cook her breakfast today. And in fact, I don't even want to get up. I'm so tired. I stayed up late last night, and I have no reason to get up and cook her breakfast, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it might be annoying, and I might hate it, because I don't even like cooking breakfast. I'm not talking about myself. I'm just giving an example. Right? And then you do it, and that is so loving. That is so awesome that you are willing to go out of your way to help somebody without the emotional drive. That's so beautiful, right? So that's what I learned through my experience by reading this book and then kind of paying attention to the world around me and understanding and trying to understand from people who had relationships that were successful and things. And so don't worry that you'll never feel that emotion again. It will come back, but that emotion isn't the end all be all, right? You will find your happiness. And right now I'm single and I'm happy. And it's not because I'm single or because I'm not single. Happiness doesn't come from whether I have someone else in my life making me happy. Happiness comes from what I choose to be and how well I am able to talk to myself in my head and enjoy things around me and appreciate things, to be appreciative of all the gifts that I have and wonderful people I have in my life. These are things that make me happy, indeed. But I can't expect to have happiness from a relationship with one person. Because happiness doesn't come from that sort of thing. It can bring you happiness, but in the end, happiness is something you experience by yourself. And it shouldn't be dependent upon whether another person likes you or not. So,
man, that was
I have
good.
faith.
That was really good. I agree.
Thanks. Yeah. So, it'll return. I have faith it'll return. I know it'll return. Just be strong, man. You got this. And as for getting over my relationships in the past, dude, totally over it. I don't even want a relationship with them anymore. Sometimes I might think, oh, how would my life have panned out if that had happened? I don't even like that. You know? Yeah, I'm totally over it. How long did it take? I don't remember. The one that was hard, maybe 2 months. But the other ones, you know, a month. And it's like, you got over that fast? I guess you weren't really that involved with it. It's like, well, no, it's not that. It's just that I don't need to spend my time being upset. And exactly. I need to move on, so I do. So, yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, like, there's no time to be upset, dude. You're spending all that time being upset when you can spend that time doing something else. Mm-hmm. But, like, we're not, like, trying to pick at people that go through that, saying, like, you're wasting your time. It's more that kind of take a step back and realize that, hey, you know, it sucks that it happened, but it's time to move on and start bringing happiness for myself in other forms other than an individual's love or something.
Indeed.
And there's only one thing I disagree with Ryan, is that he said he's single. What about me?
I'm sorry. Outside of Derek, I am single. Oh my gosh, the ships. No, please, guys, don't start. Ship. Choo choo.
Cool. So we hope we helped you out. Unknown Twitter private messenger, but you'll be fine.
Oh, it was actually YouTube, but that's fine.
Oh, YouTube private messenger, Twitter secretly. Yeah. So I got a question. This is from Ange Ninja 1, and they said, or she said rather, so there's this guy I used to know because we used to have a so-called thing last year. But then the following year I started avoiding him for personal reasons. It got really awkward after. He thinks I hate him, and it's been holding me back from feeling free to move forward. He has a girlfriend now, but I don't want to go back with him. I just want to be on good terms with him, but I don't know how to approach him. Do you think you have any advice? ? Cool. So what do you think, Ryan?
That's an interesting position because I know what it's like to not want to have people dislike you, right? It's not cool having enemies, and you don't want people to think you hate them when you don't. I know that I've met people who are like, you hate me, and I'm like, dude, no, I don't. I did that one thing that you didn't approve of because you were doing something stupid. And I stepped in the way, but I don't hate you. Listen. But, so, I mean, as for advice or just how to initiate it, and it's going to be awkward no matter what you do at this point. It's already awkward. It's going to be awkward. But it's going to be awkward until you make it better. And it will probably get more awkward until that point. So what I would suggest is just walking up to him someday, whether, it's probably better when he's not surrounded by a bunch of individuals. If he's alone at some point, you can just walk up to him and say, hey, I don't hate you, so don't think that I do. I think you're a wonderful person. And then just walk away angry. No, I'm just kidding. like tsundere or something. I don't know. No, you can just tell people, I don't hate you. I think you're great. Sorry things happened the way they did, and sorry I acted the way I did. I know I shouldn't have done that, or I did what I did because of this. But try not to make excuses as much as possible. Don't try to defend yourself or anything like that, because if you do that, it's like saying, I'm sorry, but it was your fault. It's like, what kind of apology is that? So you have to be careful of the way you say things, but just tell him, tell him what you feel. Tell him like, hey, I just want to be on friendship terms with you because I think you're a great guy and I'm sorry for all the things that happened. If you just say that, I bet things will shape up pretty well. And if they don't, oh well, at least now he knows what you think. And you can find somebody else that you can spend your time hanging around, getting to know, or whatever. But, the thing is, in our lifetimes, we're going to make, unfortunately, even if we're like the most holy person on earth, in fact, especially if we're the most holy person on earth, right? We're going to have enemies. Enemies make themselves rather, sometimes we make mistakes, or sometimes people just hate us for no reason. And I'm not going to say that's okay, but it's just something you have to deal with and move on, because it doesn't matter really. Like, I heard a great quote one time. It was about from a guy who was living in his car. He used to be super rich. His name was Robert Kiyosaki. He used to be super rich. Someone stole his idea. He ended up living out of his car and with his wife. Wow, what a gal to be able to do that. Live in a car. Anyhow, he noticed, he was getting the stares from people that he used to know, and now he's like this poor man living in his car or whatever. And so he eventually came up with this quote, and I think he actually might have quoted somebody else with this, but it's something like, your opinion is not any of my business. Your opinion of me is none of my business. And to a point that is pretty true. I mean, if they don't think good things about you, then how's that going to help you feel great about yourself? Or how's that going to make you move forward? Unless they have a legitimate reason. It's like, oh, I can improve in that area. Yeah, then that's fine. But most of the time, it's just like, who cares what people think, People think what they will, and I don't have any control over it. So I can't possibly worry about it, because there's no point in worrying over something I have no control over. So give it your best shot, and if it doesn't turn out well, move on. And I'll give the rest to Derek.
Right on. He pretty much said everything that I would be thinking of. But yeah, as long as you...
Sorry.
It's okay. As long as you tell this person the reasons you did what you did, and he reciprocates in whichever way he feels is necessary, then that's all you really can do. Because I don't think you really told us that you told him the reason. All you said was that you stopped because personal reason. Now, if you did that and didn't tell this dude anything, like you just left him in the dark, then, he totally has full reason and justified to feel that you hate him when you don't. But if you did what you did, then, it's fully justifiable. But if you did tell him the reason, or if you're going to tell the reason, then that's all you can really do. Especially if he has a girlfriend now. I highly doubt that he would put effort in trying to have a relationship with you. I don't know what it is that you want other than his forgiveness, so you can move forward. Like, in reality, you're trying to do this for yourself so you can move forward, which is totally fine. But at the same time, it's like the self-created problem that you may have caused unintentionally because of personal reasons, as you suggested. But yeah, you just kind of have to take this, full-on responsibility. Like, hey, this is what happened. I'm gonna do my best to fix it. If he's cool, that's dope. If he's not okay, then that's it. You just move on and you do what you gotta do. Because, yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. As much as it's terrible, it sucks, that's all you can do. Because once again, you can't spend your time on something that will not work. Because it just won't. There's things in this world that just will not work. As much as the awesome happiness and amazing experiences you had with this person, they've moved on as clearly as you can see. So it's really up to you to just tell yourself that, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time that I move on as well. And then you go find, you're not go out there and search purposely. Just love comes. Love will come to you. Don't go out there looking for it. You're just asking to get hurt, to be quite honest. Love is just a feeling that just happens naturally. It's organic. And you'll know it's love because you'll be looking at this person like, man, she was a pizza. I would order her every day.
And I wouldn't get sick of it. At least not.
I wouldn't get sick. I'd just be real fat.
Yeah.
I'd be full of love, greasy love.
girl, I'm fat for you. And I'd be like, I don't
then just,
understand
like-
the context.
Like bounce up
You're
and down with your
gross.
belly. Just lather some oil all over yourself.
Girl, if you was a pizza, oh man, I'd be fat. I'd be like, dude, get away from me. You're weird.
Yo, best pickup line. Hey girl.
That's pickup line.
Trying to get fat?
You're trying to get fat? You're trying to get fat? Cause I got a meal for you. Me.
I like
be
my
like,
pizzas
dude, you're
supreme and extra large. I also like it with dipping sauce.
You just like have all this in your mind. You approach a girl and you're like, girl, you trying to get me fat? And she's like, it's just a pickup line. Okay, how's this one go? And then you're like, cause you're a pizza and I'm full of you. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Let me start over.
Like,
Hi.
okay, I'm sorry. Let me just start over. I'm really nervous now.
I love you. Please go out with me. I'll hold your hand sometimes.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'll probably be a little sweaty because I'm still nervous, but yeah.
My palms are sweaty. I just had my own spaghetti. I'll never forget it.
And I don't regret it. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that's gonna be the it. The it. That's gonna be the it.
That will be it then.
So, well, we already kind of did a joke, but we'll do another joke anyway. Which is my turn. So, Ryan, why do vampires believe everything you tell them?
They're gullible.
Close. They're suckers.
Oh! No, I got it. Nice. Well played.
Also, pizza.
Pizza, yeah. They don't suck pizza though, because no blood in that. Pizza blood. Like what? There'd just be the pizza sauce. It is red. They might get confused, but as soon as they taste it, they'll be reminiscent of the girlfriend they once had before they died and went to the, you're like, man, that girl. Every time everybody has pizza, who've ever heard this now, they're gonna be like, that one guy.
That girl,
That one girl. Or, Batman.
Where is she? Where's the pepperoni?
Hey girl, you're my little pepperoni. Like, what? Why do I use that accent? I don't know.
Hi, this is Pizza Hut. How can I help you? Where's your location? I'm coming up for pickup.
Click. Dude, this guy, he's so creepy.
They just look out the window. He's right there, face against the glass. Let me in. Where is she?
Cassandra! Where is she?
911, what's your emergency? There's this man outside. He keeps asking, where is she? Ma'am, I need you to calm down. What's your location?
They finally let him inside. He'll just like grab a $5 hot and ready and be like, Cassandra, you're mine.
Thank you
He
very
just shoots out the door.
Keep the check.
Keep the check.
And then he gets on his bicycle and just rides away. No, 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 no.
When he's doing the song, he uses only falsetto, so he's like,
And he's got that hat that with like the little twirly thing on it.
oh no! Like the little helicopter hats?
Yeah.
Oh no!
And he's got the card on the bike rib, just like flapping.
And he loses his pizza to the ground, falls off his bike and he just falls on his knees and he sobs and he's like, Cassandra! No! And the neighbors are looking out of their window like, what's going on? Someone rushes out. Should I call the police? What's going on?
Honey, it's that Timothy boy again. He's out there screaming Cassandra.
Oh my. That's awesome. Someone animate that, please.
Yeah, if you guys are good at animating, please do that.
Someone please animate that. That'd be hilarious. Okay.
So, moral of the story, go out and get some pizza and just have fun.
Yep, that's what you need to do.
Cool. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining us for another amazing episode of Don't Worry Wednesdays. Once again, if you guys got something going on in your life, please leave a comment down below. If you guys like that person's comment, give it a thumbs up so we know that you want us to talk about that. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving it in a public space, feel free to private message on Twitter and or YouTube. Also, I read some comments that you guys don't know how to do private messages on YouTube. It's easy. Just go to the channel, click on About. You can only do this on a computer, by the way. You can't do it through your phone. You go to the channel, you click on About, and you're going to see a button on the side that says Send Message. Twitter PM, I don't think I really need to explain that, but you go to the person's Twitter page, send a message. Here's a coupon for pizza. Enjoy. And yeah, cool.
Awesome.
You got anything else, Ryan?
Nope, that was wonderful.
All right. So, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Where is she?